Good day. This morning, Upsales closed their books on the second quarter of 2022, and with me here in the studio to talk a little bit about the report I have its CEO Daniel Wikberg. Welcome.
Thank you.
We'll head straight into the report. Numbers are increasing. If we compare it to last year's second quarter, net sales increased by 46.4%, as did the ARR, annual recurring revenue, 31.5% year on year, landing on 129.3 million. 8.9 of which were added during this quarter. Tell us, what are behind the developments?
So, I mean, the main thing is we've had this strategy for a couple of years now, working with increased scalability and our land and expand selling model. So I think what we're seeing is that strategy really starting to pay off. And as previous quarter, it's a combination of existing customers adding more services, increasing the average contract value, together with new customers joining Upsales.
New customers in the UK, and I will be heading to that in a moment. But first, I want to talk about the EBITA. In the CEO note, you highlighted and noted a substantial improvement. This, however, despite the currency fluctuations that have affected it negatively by 1.4 million. I thought you could tell us more about currency fluctuations and how they affect you.
So we're very happy to see that the profitability is improving, and we had quite a large increase in our cost base in Q1 due to the move to a much bigger office for Upsales, and as revenue is increasing, we're kind of growing into that cost base. When it comes to currencies, the majority of our contracts are still in with Swedish clients, and the majority of our business are still in SEK. So the currency fluctuations we experience are not really related to the business. It's related to us being a net cash company with quite a lot of cash. And what we did in the beginning of the year was to diversify this cash into a number of currencies instead of just having it in SEK due to the macroeconomic environment.
And as we are on the subject of macro, as you currency fluctuations, it has been sort of a theme during this report period. Other macroeconomic trends as well. We're talking inflation, higher rates. You write in the report that you describe yourselves to be kind of tolerant against these changes, though that it may affect potential as well as current customers. I thought you could tell us, what is it that makes you tolerant against these changes, and how can it affect your customer base?
So I mean, the history of Upsales is a history of a company with a long track record of 100% organic and profitable growth. So we're net cash, as I mentioned, so we're not affected by interest rates. And we are growing organically. We don't have an M&A strategy, so we're not really dependent on the capital markets to continue to grow the business. Of course, we are monitoring very closely how everything is affecting all of our customers, existing and potential customers. We have another kind of resilience in terms of the absolute majority of our customer contracts have these index clauses, which works as an insurance against inflation for us.
In other words, the contracts follow the price the rise of prices with the inflation.
Absolutely, yes.
And as you monitor these customers, have you found anything?
Not yet. So, I mean, as of the first and the second quarter, we have not seen any negative effects in terms of new sales or expansion of existing customers. And I believe that's explained by the niche we're focusing on. We're working with fast-growing, medium-sized businesses. And Upsales as a product has a very low threshold in terms of getting started. So we're not talking about this mega enterprise investments to get started, and I think that kind of that makes us competitive even more so in this environment.
We'll move on now to the UK, where the process of expansion is currently ongoing. tell us, what have you done this quarter in the process, and what can we look forward to moving ahead?
So we've been working with the UK now for a little bit more than a year, and I would say we're still in kind of an experimentational phase. So we are closing new customers every quarter, but we're focusing on tailoring the product offering, making sure that we are highly competitive in this market. And the feedback we get from customers, I mean, we are winning deals in direct competition with a lot larger international competitors. So it's a very exciting part of the business, but still the vast majority of the business and the growth in the foreseeable future will come from Sweden, as we have a long runway of growth ahead of us in Sweden. But of course, yeah, it's an exciting part of the business.
And as you're entering a new market, how does the competition change?
I would say the competition is fiercer in one aspect. You know, you have more competitors in a market like UK than you have in Sweden. But in another aspect, you have the kind of maturity from the customers. As a Swedish or a Scandinavian company are typically more digitally mature than the typical UK company. So in one way, the competition is fiercer. In another way, it's actually less competitive, I would say. And you are in an experimental phase, and as I understand it, this is long term. But just how long are we talking here? I mean, we are seeing improvements every quarter, and we are closing more customers every quarter, but starting from a very low level or very small numbers. So I would say it will take years before the UK is kind of a material part of the Upsales growth or the Upsales business as a whole. Then
we'll move into shorter time horizons. We have 2 more quarters to go during 2022. Tell us, what can shareholders look forward to?
So, I mean, we expect to see continued accelerated growth. We expect to see continued strong profitability. And we have quite a few exciting stuff we're doing with the product, continue investing in the product as well.
It'll be interesting to read about. Daniel, those are all my questions, but I thank you very much for your time and wish both you and Upsales continued luck in the future.
Thank you.